marking the season for your chance to participate. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight for your halftime entertainment, we present the award-winning feature twirlers from the pride of West Virginia, the Mountaineer Marching Band. Please welcome Kirsty Brown from North Canton, Ohio. Whitney Godwin from Flatwoods, West Virginia. Kylie Garner from Elizabethtown, Pennsylvania. And Tori Ann Grail from Maslin, Ohio. The WVU feature twirlers are coordinated and coached by Dr. Paula Jo Myers-Stout.
At the WVU Coliseum, the opening game of the 2013-14 season for a pair of Mountaineers. It's West Virginia up over Mount St. Mary's by 9 at the half. Our keys to the game, we talked about how important it was for Mount St. Mary's to cause turnovers, how important it was for West Virginia to stay out of foul trouble and rebound, and we really haven't seen either one of those things happen.
Neither one of them. And of course, Devin Williams is on the bench for West Virginia with the fouls, but the rest of the guys, Juwan Staten right now is the leading rebounder for the Mountaineers.
West Virginia being out-rebounded by 3, and meanwhile on the other side, Mount St. Mary's has not been able to create a lot of turnovers with that mayhem defense.
Well, Juwan Staten has had a lot to do with that. And then, when you're trying to create turnovers like that and you have a guy like Harris that are hitting shots, you can't go out and trap as much because he's going to be able to knock those things down.
Harris and Staten leading the Mountaineers both in double figures for West Virginia. They're up 9, 41-32 at the WVU Coliseum. West Virginia basketball is brought to you by WVDOT. Texting or talking on your cell phone while driving is illegal. If you don't use a hands-free device, it's not only against the law to have your phone in your hand while on the road, it's dangerous. Do your part to keep our roads safe. Turn it off, put it down, and just drive. Visit justdrivewv.com and take the Safe Driver Pledge. Talking about a big weekend here in Morgantown. Tomorrow night, the West Virginia football team will take on Texas. Of course, we have our basketball game here tonight. And then earlier tonight, in the game before this one here at the WVU Coliseum, Mike Carey's West Virginia Mountaineer ladies taking on Ohio State. And Ohio State came in here and, led by Amherst Alston, were able to pull away towards the end of this game. Alston had 29 points, and Ohio State was able to come away with a 70-61 victory. And Mike Carey's team was in that category of also receiving votes. So I'm sure not totally pleased with the way this game started, but they should be fine and expecting another solid season.
Yeah, Ohio State pulled away late. A lot of optimism around this West Virginia ball club. Asia Bussey back off that knee injury. You know, they're going to have a good ball club, but they ran into a very good Ohio State team tonight.
All right, stick around. We have highlights from the first half between West Virginia and Mount St. Mary's, with WVU up by 9 when we return after this.
Higher education is the key to solving issues for the future. As children, we're told anything is possible. Sometimes as adults, we forget. But West Virginia University astrophysicists haven't. Working with the world's largest mobile radio telescope in Green Bank, West Virginia, their discoveries inspire tomorrow's scientists to help us all aim for the stars. Big 12, higher education, making a difference.
Oh yeah. Welcome to our totally awesome 80s night. The decade of short shorts, big hair, leg warmers, boom boxes, MTV, and hair bands. Dude, we're kicking it old school tonight. Gag me with a spoon.
Fans, be sure to stay in your seats for the post-game report with Coach Huggins, courtside on the Mountaineer Sports Network from IMG. This show will be broadcast throughout the arena and is presented by Northside Automotive Group of Summersville. If you need assistance or fans near you are behaving inappropriately, please text AID to 94597.
Athletic Director Oliver Luck on hand for this doubleheader as West Virginia, the men's team, getting set to open their season. Actually, they're halfway through their season opener right now against Mount St. Mary's. Let's take a look at first half action. And for the Mount, it's Will Miller, the freshman, coming off the bench, hitting a couple of three-pointers to help spark Mount St. Mary's and keep them close. Meanwhile, Warren on the other side, Aaron Harris, big offensive performance in the first half for West Virginia.
Yeah, West Virginia's looking for Aaron Harris too, and Aaron does a great job of finding seams, slipping in behind the defense. I really can't understand why they're not looking for him more. I mean, Mount St. Mary's on the defensive end. They know he's shooting the ball, but he's getting an awful lot of good looks. And Juwan State does a good job of setting him up by penetrating and then kicking it out.
Harris 5 of 7 from the floor, has 14 points. Staten has 10, but you heard Bob Huggins say not happy with the rebounding margin, which is in favor of Mount St. Mary's. Second half coming up next.
Now let's bring on the Mountaineers.
West Virginia basketball is brought to you by the West Virginia Lottery. When you play, West Virginia wins. Getting ready for the second half, West Virginia leading Mount St. Mary's 41-32. Aaron Harris and the Mountaineers getting set to inbounds right in front of our scorer's table as Bob Huggins looked like maybe an elongated session with his team here at the half.
I wonder if rebounding came up.
I would think maybe that was a subject.
Be interesting to see right off the bat what Mount St. Mary's does. They had to make some adjustments at halftime about Harris. Let's see what they do.
In the corner, it's Harris getting open, and Harris this one off the mark. Staten, though, the long rebound, which was kept alive by Noreen.
He had a good look right off the bat. Boy, Nathan Adrian comes right in and knocks a three down.
Has not found as much room as he found in the exhibition Monday night. I'm sure Jamie and Christian and his staff saw that exhibition game, and Adrian wriggles free here, knocks down his second three-pointer.
Well, you know, you go in at halftime and you sit there and you concentrate on, first of all, Mount St. Mary's didn't stay in very long. You concentrate on Harris, and all of a sudden, Adrian comes out and pops a three on you.
Very much of a different West Virginia team with the ability to have the big guys step out on the perimeter and hit long shots. We saw Kevin Jones able to do that, but certainly more of the guys doing that now. Let's go over to Robbie Inns-Mikowski. Robbie.
Well, you talk about adjustments. I talked to Jamie and Christian. The thing he said, the scouting report is exactly what we thought it would be. Coach Huggins and his staff, great guys, great at what they do. Knew they were going to be diverse with distributing the ball. He said this is going to be a game of offenses. Whoever executes better offensively in the second half will be the winner in this game, Rob.
Thank you very much, Robbie. We saw Kevin Noreen committing his third foul, and now Norfleet blows by the defense, gets to the basket, and cuts the lead back to 10.
Norfleet really good at hitting the seams. He's got that little left hand. He's left-handed, can flip that thing up. Another nice move.
Here's Staten taking it all the way into the basket, so answering on the other end. 2 point guards both having very fine games thus far. Lead is up to 12 for West Virginia, their largest of the game. And we have a whistle away from the ball, and Nathan Adrian is going to be called for his third personal foul.
And again, the contact. Boy, You know, it's going to be an adjustment time for these players until they really get it down. And you know, Nathan Adrian in Biddy League basketball, that wasn't a foul, but that's what they're going to call now.
Yep, having to adjust at this level after having played that way for so long. Beautiful look inside from Norfleet down to Kreina.
Yeah, West Virginia with no rotation. Watkins stepped out to take Norfleet. No rotation from the backside.
Lead remains at 10. Mount St. Mary's has kind of hung around. West Virginia was able to stretch that lead to 7, 8 points. They've kept it in that neighborhood for most of the last 10 minutes or so. Adrian looking for help. Can't find any now. Tries to skip it over to Harris. Finally finds him, and then Williams will go from 17. That shot well off the mark. Gregory Graves the rebound. Back the other way comes Rashad Wack. Wack tries to drive to the basket, lost the handle, out of bounds. It'll be West Virginia basketball.
Good defense by Harris that time. Really didn't put the hands on, just stayed step with him. Wack loses the basketball.
Well, we talked about the rebounds and the turnovers. Mount St. Mary's has committed 7 turnovers, so more turnovers than West Virginia. Meanwhile, on the other end, Mount St. Mary's has been able to rebound well. Now the turnover in there. You heard the shouting maybe on our broadcast here. Gregory Graves saying, "Hey, save it to Julian Norfleet," but Norfleet let it go out of bounds. Graves thought he would have an easy layup.
Well, he
chance.
would have. Really, no West Virginia player down there. Miscommunication between Adrian and Harris out front.
Noreen and Adrian both on the bench with 3 personal fouls. Early second half. Norfleet being guarded by Brown, and this is a 3-pointer by Wack off the mark. Brown with the rebound. Rashad Wack has really not found his stroke. Leading scorer returning for Mount St. Mary's, 14 points a game a year ago, 13.9 to be exact. Now looking to get it into Harris. Now Harris tried to find Williams. Williams able to get it back the other way. Good, strong move to the basket, up, and he is fouled by Taylor Danaher. Boy, Williams was a man on a mission there, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. And you're going to get those shots if you're Williams and Watkins inside because of the ability of West Virginia to shoot the basketball outside. Look how much room Williams has to operate in that lane just now. Most of the time, post guys aren't going to be able to put that ball on the floor 3 or 4 dribbles inside. But when you have a guy like Harris hitting the shot outside, that opens up that area in there.
Oh, excellent point. And now Williams will go to the free throw line. And can't convert. As substitutions again, Miller back into the game and Byron Ash for Mount St. Mary's. Williams will get the second free throw attempt. One of the top 100 recruits in the nation by ESPN, Scout, and Rivals. So pretty much a consensus top 100 player, and Devin Williams knocks down the free throw. His Monteverdi Academy was #1 in the country in 3 different national polls, so coming from a winning program as well.
West Virginia staying in that man. They've been in man all evening. Bob Huggins usually likes to do some 1-3-1 in the second half. We'll see whether or not.
Oh, Danaher missed as Watkins came over to challenge again. Brandon Watkins has been very active defensively. Brown to Harris. Harris, the 3-pointer, rattles out. He wanted that a little sooner there from Gary Brown, who didn't see him. And Norfleet will drive straight to the basket. His shot once again altered by Watkins and out of bounds off Williams. Brandon Watkins has really done a nice job of getting in there and causing some errant shots.
Well, yeah, you don't have to block them all. You have to alter some, and that's what Bob said that he wants him to do. Rebound, which hasn't done a very good job of this evening, but alter shots, and he's long enough to be able to do that.
Off the inbounds, they finally do get it in late to Khalid Nwandu. Fresh 35 shot clock. Norfleet and Mount St. Mary's down 11. Being guarded by Staten, really extending the defense. Now Norfleet, the high screen, will take it all the way into the basket and hang and hit. Julian Norfleet, we've seen that all game long.
Norfleet starts one way and is so quick. He had a quick crossover and back to the left side, and he is left-handed. West Virginia had shifted their defense to the right. He got all the way to the hole.
12 points for Norfleet, and Bob Huggins didn't like the way things were setting up there, so he calls a timeout. His team up 9. So West Virginia taking on Mount St. Mary's, a season opener for each. West Virginia with that 9-point lead at the 16:03 mark. West Virginia basketball is brought to you by Bud Light. Here we go. Drink responsibly. And by Papa John's Pizza. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. Beautiful facility. West Virginia up 47-38. The practice facility, the tying in with the pass. It is just a tremendous, tremendous facility in conjunction here with the WVU Coliseum. There's the greatest of them all, Jerry West.
I've had a lot of people come in from different places, different schools, and say they haven't seen anything like it anywhere. Now, what a great recruiting tool.
Bob Huggins has an excellent class coming in. Has some people sitting out that he hopes that will be able to play for him next year. This is a West Virginia team that expects to rebound quickly from their first losing season in a decade, and now we have an official timeout. I want to talk things over here. Looks like maybe the clock didn't start, so I'm going to head on over to the official scorer's table and get this sorted out. Bob Huggins and Jamie and Christian will take this opportunity to get their teams over.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what it was a full timeout. That's what the scorer is saying. But
There's a timeout on the court.
Well, with that, they're going to reset the clock, and that's going to be the immediate timeout under 16 minutes remaining. So West Virginia is still up 9. We'll be back after this.
Gotta go. Go out with the guy. Not until your room's clean. Good night for your...
I love you, Jimmy.
We're going to pull over.
Love you too, Mom.
Taking a look at the WVU sports calendar, the WVU football team strikes the stadium tomorrow night as it takes on Texas at 7 p.m. The volleyball team returns to the Coliseum on Wednesday against Iowa State at 6:30.
Talking Aaron Harris. I'll reference Huggins too if you could let Pete know. I think you're great, Roger. Nine-point lead for the Mountaineers 4 minutes into the second half. Aaron Harris off to a good start here in the first half of his first game of 2013. Last year as a freshman, he led to all West Virginia in scoring as a freshman. He averaged 9.8 points per game. And the biggest reason, he says, because of confidence. Early in the season, you know how Bob Huggins can be tough on his players. He was tough on Harris. Called his dad every day. He said, don't listen to how he says things. Listen to what he says. And Rob, the last freshman to do it, the man sitting right next to you, Warren Baker, in 1973.
Yes, sir, Warren Baker. It's been the Warren Baker Show tonight. We talked about that, Robbie. We also talked about, obviously your nephew, Brandon Watkins, out here playing for West Virginia, carrying on a long tradition in the family, huh?
Yeah, he's been coming into Morgantown in West Virginia since he was a pup, and this is the thing that he always wanted, so I'm happy to see his dream come true at this point.
Watkins, very good first half, 8 points. Here's Devin Williams hits the free throw, so big freshman class. They bring Devin Williams and Brandon Watkins in. They have Remy Debo, a junior. Nathan Adrian, another freshman, joining this year's class. A lot of turnover from the roster a year ago. First losing season in over a decade. Bob Huggins' first losing season since way back in 1985.
West Virginia going zone now. Playing a little point drop, turns into a 2-3. but with man principles, what you try to do in a situation like this is get a team to run their man-to-man offense against that zone, try to confuse them.
Here's Norfleet right to the basket again. Altered. Danaher misses the jam attempt on the follow-up. Now diving for it is Nwandu, and it looks like we're going to get a jump call. Boy, Danaher, the big 7-footer, with the ball right underneath the basket and misses the jam, and that's got to drive Jamie and Christian crazy.
Now, if you don't get it down, just lay it in.
Jump ball.
Possession arrow will be Mount St. Mary's on the jump ball as Danaher checks out. Kreina back in, Christian Kreina, along with Sam Prescott. Wack will inbounds. Boy, just knifing it through there to Kreina. Now the lob in the back door, and Kreina misses the layup. So two big guys missing from point-blank range. Staten to Watkins. Watkins will try it again. This one off the mark. Rebound to Nwandu. Nwandu looking to push. Not much of a shooter. One of the few Mount St. Mary Mountaineers who does not like to hoist it up.
West Virginia back in the man-to-man. Came out zone just that one time.
Prescott's 3 off the mark. Brown the rebound and able to save it to Harris. Boy, well done by Harris and Brown on that possession. Approaching the 14.5-minute mark here of the second half. West Virginia to the 49-38 lead. Devin Williams turns around, faces up, and scores.
Good, smooth play, didn't rush anything, turned around, took what the defense gave him, and hit that little 6-footer.
His 13-point lead, the largest for WVU. Nwandu will get it with under 20 on the shot clock. Being guarded by an Aaron Harris. Picks up the high screen. Now will kick over to Wack. 3-pointer on the way. Too strong. Rebound to Watkins. And Gary Brown will settle things down for West Virginia.
Good defensive stop that time by West Virginia. They'd gone back to that man. Really, that time, Mount St. Mary's looked a little out of sync, not necessarily knowing what West Virginia was going to run defensively.
Here's Harris with a 3-pointer, and his shot off the mark. Watkins contesting, but the rebound to Wack. Rashad Wack looking to push. He will kick back to the corner. 3-pointer by Prescott on the way. It's good. Sam Prescott hits the 3-pointer, and a big one for Mount St. Mary's. You could feel things slipping away. Largest lead of the game for West Virginia. That is a big 3 for Sam Prescott.
Well, Prescott is one of those guys, again, has no conscience when it comes to shooting. He's one of those guys that's going to put it on his back when he feels like his team needs it, and he hit a big 3. West Virginia had opened that lead to 13. He cuts it back to 10 with that one shot.
Well, some very capable guys. Sam Prescott last year, he averaged 11 points a game, but he had a game against Bryan in which he scored 44 points.
Yes.
That is the most for a Mount St. Mary's player since they went Division I back in 88-89. We talked about Rashad Wack averaging 13.9 points per game last year. He had 35 points in a game against Sacred Heart last season. So they have guys, they like that balanced approach offensively, but they do have guys capable of exploding, and so that makes a team capable also, I would think, of making a comeback.
Certainly, when you do that all the time, you never feel like you're out of a ball game. West Virginia, when they get up, 13, 12, 14 points, you can't relax because these guys know a couple of shots and they're right back on the doorstep.
This is the beginning of a very difficult non-conference schedule for Mount St. Mary's. At Villanova, at BYU, at Michigan State, at Penn State, at Texas Tech. Coming out of the NEC, Jamie and Christian trying to become the first coach since Jim Phelan's first 2 years. Remember, he coached for 49 years. You have to go back to the 50s, the last time a Mount St. Mary's coach had consecutive winning seasons to begin his tenure at the Mount. Christian had it last year, but boy, that non-conference schedule is going to be difficult to turn that trick again. Staten in trouble, goes to Brown, 3-pointer off the mark, rebound to Watkins, and Brandon Watkins' strong opening game continues.
Good roll to get inside position again.
Watkins joins the cavalcade of West Virginia Mountaineers in double figures. There's Nwandu inside to Kreina. Kreina left hand and easily scores. So the 3 Mountaineers in double figures.
Too easy. Brandon Watkins got pinched behind, did not fight to try to get over the top. You get a guy that size inside and that close to the basket, they're going to do some damage.
Devin Williams. Williams going to work. Just muscling Miller. Jump hook no good. Rebound to Kreina. Nwandu wanted to skip over to Byron Ash, or Ash wanted the ball skipped to him, I should say, is more like it. Nwandu thought better of it. Back to Miller for the three-pointer, and Miller is cooled down. The offensive rebound to Prescott. And Nwandu will reset. Approaching the 12-minute mark remaining. Lead is at 10.
Bob Huggins upset again. Another second shot.
There's Kreina going to work. Left hand again. Swatted away by Watkins. They'll get him for the foul. And Kreina will shoot 2 free throws when we return. West Virginia up 10 at the WVU Coliseum in the season opener.
Tonight, the West Virginia Lottery is giving 10 lottery tickets to each fan in one lucky row. If you are sitting in the following row, you're a winner. Section 34, row F. If your row is called, please stay seated to receive your prize. Fans, check out the video board for tonight's McDonald's Twit Pick winning photos. Make sure to tweet your photos all season long with the hashtag WVU I'm Loving It.
West Virginia up 10 with 11:57 remaining in the second. Bob Huggins talked about his young team. We've seen good and bad from Brandon Watkins.
Good inside position and the putback. Watkins came out of the game right after this play because playing behind right there and allowing the ball to come in and down low like that. When you get a big guy inside like that, he's either going to score or you foul. Watkins picked up the foul. He's out of the ball game. Bob Huggins is talking about you cannot relax on that defensive end after you've just scored.
And Kreina, by the way, was successful on the previous trip down the floor, so now a chance to shoot 2 free throws for Christian Kreina. This is the first free throw, a 50% free throw shooter a season ago. Praised as a skilled player, came in as a 3, has grown, 6'10", 245 pounds, now playing center, and he hits the second of 2, lead down to 9, and Taylor Danaher will check in for Kreina. Danaher, a guy that Jamie and Christian thinks people at some point in his career are going to say, what is he doing in the NEC? He thinks he's got a very bright future. You don't see a lot of 7-footers. He thinks he's going to be a very, very good player. Now Staten, as the pressure is picked up, goes to Adrian. Adrian fires up a three-pointer, knocks it down. Boy, Nathan Adrian, no hesitation.
No hesitation, that's the thing. Mount St. Mary's now, they're running 2 guys at Staten, trying to make him give that basketball up. Staten doing a very good job of staying under control and keeping the team in the offense, even though he's being double-teamed.
Third three-pointer for Adrian, the lead back up to 12. Oh, beautiful feed into Danaher. What a look from Prescott.
Well, Danaher had been coming up setting a screen. That time, He saw that the Mountaineers were playing high. He just went backdoor, and that was a good read, easy layup.
Staten being guarded by Prescott. And Staten hesitation dribble, tries to muscle himself inside, and they're going to call whack for the block.
Good read right there. Down the middle of the lane, West Virginia late getting over to help. But that was just a good, smart move. He saw the Mountaineer players up high trying to hedge that screen, went back door and got that easy layup.
Just the third team personal here in this second half for Mount St. Mary's. Juwan Staten, the fresh 35. Jets to the lane, gets in and draws the contact and will get the basket. Taylor Danaher looks like he's going to be called for the personal foul. When we mentioned Staten with these new rules and that strong body, really able to get to the rim.
And that's the thing, is by using his body really well to get in between the man in the basketball, kept the basketball to the outside, created the contact, and then that's that strength we talk about. They're in the weight room quite a bit. A lot of guards would have been off balance and wouldn't have been able to get that ball high enough on the glass for it to go down.
So Danaher checking out with his third personal, Kreina back in. Staten for the three-point play and can't convert. Staten, though, does have 14 points, and this is going to be another personal foul here on the Mountaineers, and if that's on Noreen, no, it's going to be on Devin Williams. That's his third.
Another one of those touch fouls, and those are the kind that used to not be called, but that's what the referees are going to call now. So Devin's got to adjust his game. The officials aren't going to change.
Yep, and there's going to be an adjustment period, no question. Although, in that exhibition game, we saw over 60 personal fouls. We're in the 20s tonight, so it was pretty much a free throw shooting event Monday night.
The West Virginia guards have done a pretty good job of adjusting to that. Good inside position again. Devin Williams really with those fouls not able to contest that shot inside just now.
And we talked about the inexperience for West Virginia and the experience for Mount St. Mary's. Kreina is a senior, knows how to get that position against the younger player who's in foul trouble. Adrian puts it on the floor, now looking for the backdoor cut, not open, now looking for help, and he gets it to Staten with 12 on the shot clock. Staten driving up the middle, and we're going to get a personal foul, and it's going to be on Kevin Noreen for a block, and that will be his fourth personal foul.
Offensive foul whistled on West
Oh, that's tough. I talk about insult to injury. Took one in the mush.
The way they're calling it, Kevin leans in with that knee. You have to stay there and make that offensive player run his man into you. Any movement at all, they're going to call that block, especially when you're that big and at the top of the key. I mean, you're exposed, and the officials are going to call it.
Here's Wack now, trying to fighting for position. And it back off to Prescott. Prescott tried to go inside, but it got to Williams. Now here's Remy Debo on the run. And Debo will pull up. And Harris thought about going to Adrian, but will slow down and now drive to the basket. Contact, can't get it to go, but Aaron Harris will go to the free throw line. Harris looking for his first points here midway through the second half. Third personal on Kreina.
And West Virginia's guards, again, that's that strength again. Good body control, just couldn't get it to drop.
Aaron Harris.
Still strong enough to get it up there and give it a chance.
Mount St. Mary's just sort of hanging around here at this game. West Virginia has got it up to 12, 13 points, but hasn't been able to push it beyond that. Harris hits the first free throw.
Now, Aaron Harris, as a freshman last year, wouldn't have been able to get that ball up on the board. That maturity, the ability to, move his body around and create the contact and still get it up there. He's got so much more confidence. West Virginia's guards right now are doing the same thing that Norfleet did to them in the first half, being able to beat their primary defender out front and get all the way to the rack.
Harris hits the first of two. And the second one falls, and the lead is 12, and he leads all scorers with 16, does Aaron Harris. Approaching the 9.5-minute mark. Lead a dozen for West Virginia.
West Virginia back in that zone again, playing the man principles. See Devin Harris coming high with the offensive player, but they are still in zone at this point, but it looks like man.
Norfleet will go up top to Wack. They'll pull up. Wack shot off the mark. Rebound battle for him. Devin Williams hauls it away for West Virginia. They're going to call him for the travel. Williams thought he had the pivot foot set. but it will be a turnover and go back to Mount St. Mary's.
Well, there's a lot of contact in there. You know, Bob Huggins is saying, yeah, how did he get knocked over? Why was he down on the ground? Devin Harris really battling for that basketball inside, using that strength.
Well, maybe they got it right.
Yeah.
And the ball out of bounds off Williams. Some harassing pressure well away from the basket. Bob Huggins, again, looking for an explanation that's going to satisfy him. Doesn't look like he's going to get it. 9:03 mark, and
Bob's always
his team up a dozen.
He's always looking for an explanation.
Wack has really been kept in check, and that's out of bounds. Wack just 2 for 9 from the floor, held to 6 points. Again, mentioned he was Mount St. Mary's leading scorer a year ago.
When you're playing some zone with West Virginia, they're so long that makes it very difficult a lot of times for those shorter guards to get that shot off.
Remy Debo skies on the rebound of the Norfleet miss. Harris into the corner. Three-pointer on the way, rattles out for Debo. Debo gets the long rebound back and a fresh 35. He'll try it again, not wasting any time on that fresh 35, and he gets his first basket as a Mountaineer.
Well, that's what Debo was known for. He could fill it up as well. West Virginia's going to have a lot of guys that can really, when Terry Henderson gets back, light it up from the outside. You'd have to think that you hope they don't have many cold shooting nights, because with all of those guys, somebody's going to be warm.
Lead is at 14, the largest of the lead of the night for West Virginia. Norfleet now has Devin Williams on him on a switch.
They can talk back. Good Staten, getting communication.
And Danaher with a three-pointer.
West
Virginia, a 7-footer steps out and hits the three.
Well, that was a poor job by West Virginia. Staten was trying to get Williams to come back over and switch. Devin Williams a little slow getting the switch, and the big guy knocked it down.
Only tried 14 threes last year. Did hit 3 of them, but it's his first three-point attempt of this season. Staten moves to his left, pulls up. Juwan Staten shot no good. Danaher and Williams battling. Danaher on the floor is able to cough it up and give it to Norfleet. Norfleet now on the run, and Norfleet a little lob, and Nwandu has it swatted away by Aaron Harris, but Harris is going to be called for a foul, much to his dismay. The lead is 11. West Virginia over Mount St. Mary's. 7:21 remaining here in this second half as Danaher hits the three. Mount St. Mary's hanging around.
Fans, catch the Bob Huggins Show on Wednesday at 7 p.m. on radio stations throughout the state. On the Mountaineer Sports Network from IMG. Join Coach Huggins and be part of the live audience at Kegler's Wednesday night at 7.
At the WVU Coliseum, alongside Warren Baker, I'm Rob King. West Virginia leading by 11 points. Warren, Mount St. Mary's has kind of been able to hang in there, and they got a call just before we went to break that Aaron Harris, safe to say, did not agree with this call.
Well, I think it was the follow through. You know, Harris got a lot of the ball. I don't know if they called it with the lower body, but I think a lot of times if you have your hand straight up and you get the block, you know, they won't call it. I think the follow through with it was the thing that got the call. But Aaron Harris certainly did not like that call, and he did get a lot of ball.
Well, it'll put Khalid Nwandu on the free throw line, the freshman from Northeastern High School in York, Pennsylvania. No more for his defense coming out of high school, but he's able to hit the first free throw here. Lead back down to 10. So Jamie and Christian's team able to just kind of hang around. They really haven't cut it close, but they haven't been completely shaken off the tail of West Virginia either.
Not at all. And as we've said all evening, as long as you have that three-point arsenal, it doesn't take long to get back.
Staten able to get over the timeline.
1-3-1 zone by Mount St. Mary's. They're really spreading it out.
Staten looking right into the teeth of the 7-footer Danaher. Debo now cutting his dribble, in trouble, trying to get it outside to Staten, does. Under 10 on the shot clock. Beautiful dump down back into Debo. Great feed from Staten.
Good read by Staten. Adrian had spotted up in the corner, and the defense had shifted to that side. Staten went down the middle. Good cut by Debo and got that layup.
Boy, Bob Huggins had praise at halftime for Staten. He really has been able to control the tempo of this game. The Mount St. Mary's pressure hasn't bothered him. Been able to distribute and score for West Virginia. Really feel like he's dictating the pace tonight, Warren?
Yes, he is. He certainly is. He's got everything under control. He's found the open men. He's held up when he needed to.
Boy, the shot clock winding down. Norfleet able to knife in and score.
And that's where that advantage of that new call is, that foul call. Norfleet went to the basket, knew if he got touched it was going to be called, and you know, he just concentrates on making the shot, not worrying about the contact.
Adrian